Welcome to This Podcast is Making Me Thirsty, the number one destination for Seinfeld fans. This is Two Up and Two Down. Here's our producer, Chris, to start us off.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Up and Two Down. Now, today we have a Season 8 episode, The Little Kicks. So, Chris, we're going to start with you this time. What's your first up here?
Little Kicks, Season 8, Spike Feresten. Hopefully get him on the program soon. Love his podcast, the whole thing. So, first up for Little Kicks, I'm going to go with the whole bad tipper scene. Jerry and George back at Monk's, you know, the bad date, the bad sport, the bad citizen, the bad tipper. Like, you know, the whole, obviously, George introduced him there being the bad boy kind of thing. And then Jerry just completely poking fun, needling him, and little dramatic scene at the end, but I always get a little kick out of that.
All right, very good. Yeah, anytime George and Jerry together alone, that's good stuff. So, Tony, what's your first up here?
Yeah, well, I only wrote down three. He took one of them. So, my other up, I mean, I'm probably taking one of his now. I mean, Brody, I'm going to give Brody an up. I mean, you got to love Brody. Spike Feresten throwing in a little nod to Larry Charles maybe here with some darkness. You know, he got a bootlegger, get the gun. He pulls out a gun on Jerry. I mean, you're not getting a lot of this kind of stuff in 8 and 9. This is more a Larry Charles type of character. Who knows if Larry Charles even gave this to him? Who the hell knows at this point, right? Who knows? It could have been bounced around, but let's give Spike credit here for throwing Brody into the mix and mixing things up with Jerry. I like his character. We'd love to get a glimpse of the guys that Kramer's friends with. Always makes us all laugh. Ekman did time. He got out, and now we got Brody, who's also seems like he might be a convict. Like a slippery Pete, who we all don't love, but we all kind of get a chuckle at too. Another, I think, ex-convict, the Kramer's buddies. Anyway, that's my up. I love the Jerry line. I'm a joke maker. I mean, just talking to Brody, but Brody gets an up.
I agree. I'm a big fan of Brody in this episode, so I definitely like that up. So, Chris, back to you. What's your second up here?
Yeah, the joke maker was one of mine. It kind of leaned into just Jerry as the bootlegger is my up. And obviously he got introduced being the joke maker, but him talking about the little kid who needs bootlegs, or even when he's at the movie theater and Brody's there and he's like, you know, I need 3 cameras and then I'm off the project, and he runs away. I mean, Jerry's pretty funny in this episode. He goes from scared to death of him to like really being into it, and that just goes to show you in life when you find a passion, you lean in, and I think Jerry did there. I gotta tip my hat. So thumbs up to Jerry, the bootlegging, really getting involved. That was funny.
All right, very good. So Tony, we're gonna go back to you now. What do you got for your first or your second up?
I'm sensing how I like it this episode a little bit here from these ups he's given. My next up is kind of a throwaway, but you know, another nod to Spike, another spot where he gets to show a little bit more than maybe, you know, the seasons 8 and 9. We don't always see this kind of thing, but we all love a parody movie. When they're going to see Death Blow, and Kramer goes, when someone tries to blow you up, not for who you are, but for different reasons altogether. I don't know. Just love their taglines or their movies. You know, obviously it's not Milan to Minsk. We're not, you know, but it's still solid. Love their fake movies. Love their taglines. That one always makes me laugh. Death Blow. That's my next up.
All right. Very cool. So now, Chris, we're going to go back to you to start the downs. What's your first down for this episode?
It's funny. Tony mentioned that I'm loving this episode. Easy. There's plenty of downs in this episode, and they are powerful downs. Okay. I got to tell you, I know Pink Hat fans love it out there, and you know, there's these clips of this big scene everyone loves. It's the whole, you know, Elaine picking up Anna at the police station with Frank Costanza. You want a piece of me? You got it. It felt so staged beyond belief. It's not even worthy of, and I know people love it, which is crazy. But that scene for me, that end scene, you want a piece of me, and Frank and Elaine going at it. Never liked it, and that's season 8 for you. I mean, we talk about forced a lot. Why do that to Frank? Why? Keep him away. Keep him away. So that's my first down. George obviously getting arrested and yelling, "I'm a bootlegger!" Like, God, just cringeworthy. And then on top of him yelling, just Elaine, everyone yelling, it's just big down, big down.
Yeah, and it also that scene made it feel like, George was just a little kid, so there's really no reason for Elaine to have to bail them out or George's father to be there. So yeah, I get that. So Tony, let's go to you. You share the same sentiments?
Yeah, I wrote down right there. It says the ending with Frank and Elaine going at it. Pink hats love it. That was one of my downs. Exactly what I just said. I won't steal it, but I hate the ending. With a passion. It feels like they were just doing it for themselves, which, you can't disrespect your audience like that. And your audience is us. All right. And that's just, Harris has said, it's a disrespectful. Anyway, he covered it well. I'm going to go the other way, which I thought he was going with when he started his down. But obviously the elephant in the room here is the dance, the whole thing. I mean, what it's become, how it's become something. It's the episode. It's just bad. I mean, you can't revolve an episode around Elaine dancing poorly. It's the catchphrase stuff. It's season 8, season 9, trying to catch a gimmick, trying to catch the, people talking about it. And this is before memes were a thing, but obviously, they basically invented it. They invented that whole, oh, there it is, Elaine's kicks. That's the thing now. It's referenced everywhere. And it's just not good. And, you want to give Julia credit for coming up with this odd dance and, no one saw it until they did the show. I mean, give me the Van Wyck any day. Give me, John F. Kennedy Jr. Give me that anytime. This I'm done with. I'm done with this. This is a down. The dance is my down.
All right. No complaints there. So Chris, we'll go back to you. What's your second down here?
Not only is that a down, it's a heavy down. I mean, that is an anchor down. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was almost too obvious. I didn't want to bring it up. So my second down is it leaned into that. But again, this is another common theme. George just inviting himself to Elaine's party, like when they're sitting there. Why? I mean, this is almost like verbatim with the secret code, like George and Jerry meeting with Peterman. Why? What is going on since Larry David left? This is what I want to know. Inviting himself, it just makes no sense. And then I don't want to steal because you probably don't have many downs, but, and then George gets with Anna, who he would never get with, we all know, but Elaine leaving work, driving to the, you took it? I won't take it.
Give it like 5 downs in one over here.
Like, yeah, all right, I'll stop with it. The bottom line is George invited himself to the party.
Yeah,
that
I
theme
agree. I have that as a down also. You take that one and then you throw
zero.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll go back to Tony. Tony, what do you got for you?
I mean, he's taking 3 things at once. And yes, I agree with all that. I'm going to take that. Just the whole Elaine not wanting George to date the girl doesn't make any sense. And then her picking him up and acting like the mom in the police station. We already got to that. But we're just going on and on here. I mean, it's terrible. To Chris's point, George and Jerry's like, he's going to go anyway to the dinner. Like, what? Why would George want to go to this dinner? And Jerry acts like it's a known thing. It's not a known thing. Like, it's not George. We wouldn't want to go to the dinner. Then he's at the dinner. He's dating. Terrible. I guess my down in this case is what you were touching on is the Elaine going to get the girl from George and acting like she's the mom of her. It's just pathetically bad. Like, just so bad. So bad. And in fact, I'm probably changing my grade now as I'm going over this. So that's a down.
All right. Well, now speaking of grades, let's go back to Chris for the final grades here for the Little Kicks. What do you got?
All right. Spike Ferguson, again, would love to have him on the show, but listen, we're analysts here. You know that, America. But the Little Kicks, it stands for more than what this episode is, if that makes sense. It's catchphrases, it's gimmicks. It's what this show was not built on. Okay? The Little Kicks is a D-. Right there on the cusp, man. But it did have some ups, like I said, the bad tipper, Brody. But, I got to be fair to myself. Again, Brody's not going to lift an episode. Bad Elaine and Bad George can sink an episode faster than anything. And boy, did they. D-.
So, Tony, what's your final grade here?
I actually got the same grade. I think a D-. I'm leaning towards an F, but we're going to give Brody his due. We're going to give the never bad boy, never tip, never, bad employee, bad everyone. I'll say this. I'll give Elaine the line before she dances. I always get a kick out of those who wish us well and those who don't can go to hell. The toast she gives, I'll throw that out. I know you hate it. I know. I'm trying to find a little bit of something here to do something. The reason why I like it, I'll tell you this. The reason why I like it is Julia Louis' delivery on it. It makes it seem like she made it up on the fly. I'm sure she didn't, but it's something about it, the way she figures it out and she just kind of says it. I get a chuckle. I get a D- chuckle. I love Brody. I think the K-Man is a K-Man, right? So he doesn't really bring it up or down. But everything we touched on, the fact.
Let me ask you this: Would Elaine ever say that at a pendant party?
She does. Doesn't she do a toast at a pendant party?
Yeah, not like that. Not.
Well, I gave it a D-. I'm the same grade as you. I'm trying to give something. We still want Spike on, don't we? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a D-. It's a bad episode. It represents everything that we don't like about the show in seasons 8 and 9. It really does. And we didn't even touch on this. You touched on it maybe with the final scene with Frank and Elaine. Even worse than that is George crying. Why'd the police officer have to be? That might be one of the worst George's lines of all time. I'm going to put it in the top 5 for sure. George crying and just fake horrible. D- for me too for the Little Kicks.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. A double D- for the Little Kicks. All right. So that wraps up this episode, and we'll see you guys at the next one.